speak louder. There is a secret that won't be mine. The never talk until the end of time. Makes me feel at least like a monster. Makes me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can't find a place to go. There's a world of things I never knew. 'Cause everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight? Hey, hey, why should I run away? Hey, hey, I always felt this way. Hey, hey, I can't run away. Hey, hey, I'm not the stranger tonight. Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight? Hey!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Bristol, Tennessee. Tonight, the Red Light Scrambler Series heads in here for the final race before the season finale. This is a cutoff race here from Bristol, and things always in Bristol get a little bit crazy. So I hope you guys are all ready here on a Monday night to watch a little short track racing action. Here in the booth, as always, it's Youth in the booth with my trusty little sidekick right here, Jarrett. It's a cutoff race here at Bristol. What is going to happen here tonight?
Anything and everything could happen here tonight, Roger. 8 guys come in for the chase and 4 get eliminated tonight. It's Bristol, baby. Let's get it going.
It's Bristol here in about 4 minutes. You see it before we hit our qualifying session. Jarrett hit on it. 8 drivers enter tonight here for a chance to head to the season finale next weekend, or next Monday, at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. But first, these 8 drivers have to get through Bristol here. This is how they come into tonight. Tim Blum has locked himself in. He's already punched his ticket. He's already headed to Charlotte no matter what happens here tonight. Sean Butler comes in second. He has a 4-point lead. Well, there's a tie for second with Sean Butler and James Skelton. They both have a 4-point lead over Max Terriault, who sits there in 4th. So those 4 drivers of Blum, Butler, Skelton, and Terriault are in right now. But Max Terriault comes in with only a 2-point lead over Brandon Minto, who sits 5th. Richard Murdoch sits 3 points back behind that bubble, tied with his teammate, his teammate of Josh Buckley is also 3 points back. And the final man in the running order for the chance to make it to Charlotte is Patrick Orr. So pretty much 18 points separate your entire top 8. Anything could happen here tonight. That's what I believe. If I'm counting right, that's actually only like 6 to 8 positions, Jarrett.
Yeah, like you said, Roger, only Tim Blum is safe. Any of these other 7 guys, they really got to have a good night if they want to make their way through to the championship.
And talking about a good night out there, we've already seen a lot of guys out here in practice with just over 2 minutes to go here. They have spun out. They have all hit the wall. They've all got into each other here tonight. It's short track racing at its finest. I'm sure a lot of these drivers, when they saw the schedule and saw that we were going to be heading here to Bristol for the last chance to make it to the championship, they probably just put their hand inside their palm here and just shook their head furiously. anything could happen at Bristol. Just think about it. Just a couple weeks ago, if any of you guys are NASCAR fans out there, you just almost watched Matt DiBenedetto win his first NASCAR Monster Cup race. That would have put him in the playoffs. But something happened with a lap down car. We could see something like that play out here tonight at Bristol. But we're going to find that out here in just about a minute and 40 seconds when we qualify. We're going to step away real quick, and we're going to be right back here to bring you qualifying from Bristol.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And welcome back here to Bristol. Qualifying just underway. There you see the 10-minute ticker. Who is going to be the first driver to venture out onto track? Here it comes, Eric Tupper in the 940 machine. Haven't seen Eric in a couple weeks, but it's good to see him back here with the Red Light Scrambler series. We know it's towards the end of the season. That doesn't mean you can't sneak out a win here. So Eric being one of the first drivers out on track, you're going to see a lot of guys running the high line here as you see him go right down into the middle groove, down through the corner there on 3 and 4. That's lap number 1 there for Eric Tupper. He's going to go 4th on the board. Sean Butler, though, went out there, put on 1 lap there, and, well, then he decided that was enough of that. So Chase driver Sean Butler, 1 and done to the top of the board. Richard Murdoch also just finishes up his timed lap. Joe Strano, though, out here in the Air Force 943. He's right now qualified in the 6th spot. Ryan O'Danny coming here around corners number 3 and 4. He's going to come across the start-finish line on his 2nd time lap. He was 10th on the board last time by. He will stay 10th on the board with a 14.922. Going to be a long day if he has to start towards the back of the field here. Joshua Buckley right here in the Miller Genuine Draft number 2. Right now slotted P4 on the board. Let's see if we can drop down our qualifying times here. Josh Buckley last week, though, Jarrett, had a rough sledding.
Yeah, a little bit of rough sledding this week. I'm having a little technical difficulties over here, Roger.
Well, Jarrett always having a little technical difficulty, sort of like Josh Buckley had last week. So right now, Buckley's got to finish pretty much in your top 3 here tonight, or have a couple of the other chase contenders like Patrick Orr right here have a little bit of difficulties here tonight. Looks like 14, 15 drivers now that Orr has put in a time. He goes 11th on the board on his first lap with a 14.804. Good enough for the 11th quickest time posted as he comes through 3 and 4. Everybody is pretty much running that middle groove. We haven't seen a lot of drivers down there on the bottom just yet here in qualifying. Last lap a little bit slower for Orr, so he's going to go with that 11th fastest time. So right now, 15 drivers have put in a qualifying time. Right now, the track is pretty empty for the time being. We're still waiting on drivers of the number 20 of Brandon Minto, Tony Strano, Kevin O'Brien, Kyle Souza, Tim Blum to all take to the racing surface here. It looks like Brandon Minto is going to give her a go here in the Barstool Sports number 20. Brandon Minto comes into the night just 2 points out of the chase, has to find himself or find a way in at this point. Bristol just might be the spot. Let's see where Minto as he comes through 3 and 4 here on his first timed lap. Brandon Minto slots it into the 4th quickest time. You see sparks out of the bottom of that car as he bottoms out down there in turns 1 and 2, and it looks like he's going to shut it down. He's going to go 1 and done for the number 20 here of Brandon Minto. He's going to have a good starting spot, though. 4th fastest for the time being. We say for the time being because here comes another one of them chase drivers. He's already locked himself in. It doesn't look like he's quite ready to take to the track. The number 10 here, the Tide Ride of Tim Blum. Blum comes into the night having 3 wins on the season, 9 top 5s, and an impressive 10 top 10s. Tony Strano bringing out the iconic black number 3, good rent service plus. ZL1 Camaro here from Bristol. It's good to see those colors rolling around Bristol here. You see him go down into the corner. It didn't seem like the number 3 car wanted to turn down in 1 and 2 when he held on to her, and he got her to make its way around turns 1 and 2 there. As it comes through 3 and 4 across the stripe here in his first timed lap, 15.09, so well down the running order here, 17th quickest at the moment. Tony Strano coming across this time by, let's see where he goes, a little bit quicker, goes with a 15.087, but still not going to be quick enough for a top 10 starting spot. Tim Blum now looks like he's ready to bring this Ford Tide Ride out here onto the track. Not sure if he's quite up to song and dance as he works his way across the start-finish line, but he'll take to the clock here in qualifying. Still has plenty of time, 4 minutes 30 seconds left here in our qualifying session. As he comes across the starting line there, he goes 16th quickest with a 14.916. Gonna need to find a little more speed in the Tide Ride here. And across the stripe he goes once again. It's going to be a little bit quicker. He's going to move himself into the 9th position with a 14.676. So Tim Blum has himself a top 10 starting spot for the time being, but will he stay there? Still got 3 drivers to put in a qualifying attempt here with just over 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Well, if you are tuning in here on a Monday night, it's your Red Light Scrambler series. It's the series that starts off the week right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. And we are coming down to the end of the season here for the Scrambler series tonight. And then next week at Charlotte. Tonight, though, being the cutoff race, we're going to cut the championship hunt from 8 down to 4. We know 1 driver is in. That is Tim Blum. Yeah, he's going to have a good starting spot for the time being. There's still 3 drivers, but he finds himself in the top 10 in 9th here. But the 2 guys that really have a lot of work to do here tonight, it's going to be Patrick Orr in the 81. Patrick Orr, he's got a qualifying time put in 13th, so he's going to be right around the mid-pack here to start this event. And then Joshua Buckley, he's slotted in your 5th spot for the moment. You still got Kyle Souza out there, Kyle Souza always is able to work his way towards the front of the race here as time goes on, but let's see if he can come out here and put in a qualifying attempt here tonight. It'd be interesting to see where he starts the number 4, or even Kevin O'Brien there in the 184. Looks like we have a newcomer in the 906. It's Rick Christensen Haven't seen Rick out here before with the Red Light Scrambler series, but it's good to see him at Bristol. What a better place to try and come out here and play with the boys. They'll have 2 minutes here on the clock. I don't think we're going to get too many drivers out here on track. So why don't we just see if we can get a word in with the driver who has the quick time out there right now. The 88 is Sean Butler. Butler, you got a copy? Sean Butler, you got a copy. Roger here in the booth. Well, maybe the Butler crew doesn't want to talk with us right now, but let's take a quick gander at Sean Butler's stats here this year. Sean Butler has 5 pole awards. This would be his 6th one if he can hang on here for a minute and 40 seconds. He's had 9 top 5s. I can read, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. 9 top 5s here with 10 top 10s. He had one race where he was unable to finish. That was back at Myrtle Beach, and it looks like he was in the lead when he had disconnected out of the server. So unfortunately, this is iRacing, and sometimes things like that do happen here. And let's see. Other than that, Sean Butler has only finished outside your top 10 one other time, and that was at Talladega. Looks like he had completed 50 laps, but got taken out in a little bit of a racing incident. Didn't lead any laps. There's only 2 races on the season that Sean Butler hasn't led any laps. That was over at Myrtle Beach and at Talladega. So some pretty impressive stats there for driver of the 88. As it looks like we're counting down here under a minute now in our qualifying session. Sean Butler does have the quick time still. Richard Murdoch has the 01 slotted there in 2nd with Max Terriot 3rd, Brandon Minto 4th, and Joshua Buckley rounding out the top 5 here. "20 seconds to go here in qualifying. So it'll be interesting to walk away from a little short track after tonight. When we do head out of Tennessee here and we head over to North Carolina to the Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. We drive the Cup cars tonight here at this little short track. Then we're going to hop in the Xfinity car for a little 1.5 mile action. The question is going to be answered here in just a couple moments of who can last the longest here from Bristol Motor Speedway. So as these guys are starting to grid up here, let's see if we can take you through your starting lineup here tonight. Here's your starting lineup for the final chase race of the season before we head to the season finale. Sean Butler going to lead us to green here tonight. To his outside, the man who needs a good run here tonight, Richard Murdoch. Starting right behind them, the 42 Max Terriot and Brandon Minto starting in your 4th spot. Bunch of chase drivers here up in the front. Joshua Buckley needs a good finish here tonight. He's going to roll off in that number 2 car right there in the 5th position. James Skelton going to roll the 86 in 6th starting spot. Ethan Troutman, good to see Troutman back. He's going to have himself a good starting spot here. He's got the 962 in the 7th starting spot. Ron Holyfield, the 998 driver, are going to roll off right there in your 8th spot. 9th spot, going to go to another one of the chase drivers, the number 10 here of Tim Blum. He doesn't want to be caught up in anything as he's going to start mid-pack here tonight. Rounding out your top 10, the 999 of Jeff Hollingsworth. The number 943, starting 11th, going to be Joe Strano. And how about the number 940? Starting 12th, going to be Eric Tupper. 13th starting spot, one of the chase drivers, Patrick Orr. He's got the most work out of everybody to do here tonight. He's going to start the 81 back here in 13th starting spot. Jesse Baker's got the 909 scheduled to slot in the 14th spot. 15th going to be Robert Dudley in the 901. Christopher Rothrock going to roll off there, the 84 and 16th. 17th starting spot going to be Ryan Aldani. Tony Strano's got the good wrench number 3 back there in 18th starting spot. 19th going to go to the number 4 of Kyle Souza. Rick Christensen going to start the 906 there in 20th. And starting shotgun to the field in 21st spot here from Bristol, it's going to be the 184 of Kevin O'Brien. There are your 21 drivers to take on the Bristol baby. Garrett, welcome back to the booth. You missed a little bit of qualifying action, but we're about to turn them loose here. 200 laps from Bristol.
Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulty, but I'm ready to go racing here at Bristol.
Yeah, you and about 21 other drivers are ready to take it to the high banks here from Bristol. It's only a little half-mile short track, but it's going to be high tempers flaring here tonight as you see them work through turns 3 and 4. We're going to take the green flag this time by. Pace car down and away, and we are ready to go. Green flag racing from Bristol, and it is on like Donkey Kong. They say a little bit of a wiggle down there out of the 01 of Murdoch as they head down into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Big stack up back there. Murdoch didn't get off turn number 2 as fast as he thought he would. Look at the sparks fly. The ride heights right now with the tire pressure down low. Butler leads lap number 1. Still a battle back here. Max Terrill trying to figure out if he's going to get in front of Brandon Minto. He does get in front of Minto, so your top 4 drivers are single filed out. And then it's Joshua Buckley trying to work to the inside here on James Skelton. You might be able to watch the inside lane work for about a lap to, well, possibly 6 laps, and then those outside lane may become a little bit faster. There is the 2 of Buckley, though. He's going to slot up right in front of Ethan Troutman for the time being. So we're going single file for your top 10 drivers. Caution flag is waving, and it looks like we got a couple of them back here, possibly involving also Tim Blum. Actually, I think Blum may have hit the brakes, but Christopher Rothrock, a lot of damage to that Budweiser car. We're going to have to throw it back and find out what happened with Rothrock. A couple other drivers were wrapped up in this. As there, we almost had a moment with Strano there. Joe Strano is down. Oh, it looks like Christopher Rothrock just lost it, and nowhere to go was Robert Dudley. Robert Dudley was an innocent victim with nowhere to go. Let's go back here a little bit and see if we can get on board with Robert Dudley. Here you see Joe Strano down there. He's having a little bit of issues. It looks like everybody got around him pretty cleanly. And then right there, all of a sudden, it just steps out on Christopher Rothrock, and Dudley had no idea it was even coming for him at that time. So just an innocent bystander right there for Robert Dudley as we went back and looked at that. The other driver that was wrapped up in this is going to be Rick Christensen. That's not the way you want to make your entry into the series, being wrapped up here in an early incident. It was no fault of his own, though, Jared.
Yeah, that's a tough break for him, especially him just being an innocent bystander, basically.
So that puts us under caution here in the early going. 5 green flag laps completed. Let's take a quick look here at the track facts while we are here under a yellow flag conditions. It's a little track, 4 turns, half a mile in distance. We're going 200 laps tonight. That only equals out to 103 miles. The track temp, that's a little warm here in Bristol under the lights. It's 82 degrees on the track temp. Air temp also sitting right there at a cool 82 degrees. Got a little wind, but it will not affect us here as we are down pretty much. When you think about this little track, you're down inside the ground. They have built this track just down. I don't know any other way to explain it. So there's the track facts here for Bristol Motor Speedway. We're still under a caution flag as we're waiting for a couple guys to see if they can kind of get their cars fixed and back out here on the track. We're going to restart them here. Sean Butler is going to take us to green. Going to be next in line. Then it's going to be Richard Murdoch. Then it's going to be Max Terriot, Brandon Minto, James Skelton, Joshua Buckley, Ethan Troutman, Jeff Hollingsworth, Ron Holyfield, and then Eric Tupper, your top 10 drivers.
Looks like Sean Butler is choosing the high lane to restart this race.
Yeah, a couple laps on the tires. He may think he'll be able to fire off a little bit better on the outside lane, and when he gets into turn 1, he'll have the momentum down the backstretch.
Yeah, I noticed in practice, and I missed qualifying, but in practice, a lot of guys are running that high line or trying to run the high line.
Yeah, sorry about the cameras, folks. A lot of these seem to be like we're a little bit out of focus here from Bristol. Camera package having a little bit of issues. We'll see if we can work through that here this evening. But we're going to go back green flag racing right here at Bristol on lap number 10 as the iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn, and it's in the hands of Sean Butler here once again. Look at Minto trying to go up and give Butler a little bit of nudge. Butler's going to get away, but it looks like Richard Murdoch going to be the one that's going to have to fight with Max Terrill and Brandon Minto.
Come down the backstretch into 3. Minto's still running that outside line, trying to keep Theriault behind him.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's scraping going through the corners, and it looks like now Minto's going to be able to take away the 3rd spot from Max Terrill. You're going to have to go all the way back here. It looks like the James Skelton right behind him got a little bit of a cluster, almost contact there with Eric Tupper and Ethan Troutman. Troutman to the inside on Tupper, and it looks like that outside lane right now is going to pretty much be where you want to be.
Yeah, that outside lane working really well right now as you see the 81 of Orr working on the 962 of Troutman as they come down the front stretch.
Yeah, Tony Strano right there also under attack. Ron Holyfield making the inside lane work in his Camaro, trying to work around that Dale Earnhardt Sr. replica paint scheme here from Bristol. Oh, somebody was into the wall. I believe that was the number 20 of Brandon Minto as he is actually lagged out. Something must have happened to Brandon Minto. So Minto,
looks like we got a caution.
as there is a caution now out there on track. It looks like the Dudley machine is pointed the wrong direction. As things happen pretty quick here from Bristol, let's see if we can dissect what happened to Robert Dudley here under this one. Dudley was running in your 14th spot when this all unfolded. Let's see what happens here to Dudley as he follows Ryan O'Danny back here. O'Danny, though, running in your 13th spot. Oh, it looks like something might have broke on the Dudley machine, and he went down to the inside and no place for... No, that was no place for Rick Christensen to go as he was back there. Dudley does able to get it turned back around. Just 2 cars wrapped up in that little exchange as Dudley's going to wait for himself to be able to get back on to, or pointed in the right direction. Something happened also to Richard Murdoch possibly because he came down Pear Road here and all your other leaders elected to stay out. So he comes down here for 4 fresh tires here on lap number 16. Could be a strategy play, though.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of races in this playoff come down to fuel strategy or anything, so anything's possible.
Yeah, we've come to learn that these races here with the Red Light Scrambler Series always come down to fuel strategy. And Sean Butler is probably one of the guys who figures it out more, best or fastest, or maybe he just has a logbook of how many laps that he's ran entirety here on iRacing, and he knows just what he needs to do. The man, though, from last week, do you remember well, it was actually 2 weeks ago since we've been here on the air, but Jeff Hollingsworth. Jeff Hollingsworth came onto the scene here as a rookie driving that Coast Guard machine, and he's going to be somebody that's Sean Butler's going to have to worry about here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely one of the guys that can come here and snatch a victory away from these guys in the chase.
Yeah, he's not just, worried about snatching victories away from guys here in the chase. He snatched one away from me the other day in just a little bit of a fun lobby. He just kind of pressured me into locking up the left front on getting 2 to go, and he just turned the car left, drove right underneath me. So we know he has quite a bit better skills than myself here.
Yeah, that's why you're up here in the booth, Roger, and he's down there on the track.
Yeah, that's why he runs 4th, and, I ran 2nd to him, so... Hey, it happens. Sometimes you're the fly, sometimes you're the fly swatter, I guess. Top 5, though, before we go back green flag racing. Sean Butler, Max Terrill, Josh Buckley, Jeff Hollingsworth, and James Skelton round out your top 5 drivers here. Just getting a report here out of the 20 camp for Brandon Minto. His Oculus just froze. It looks like he is back into the lobby, though. He's just shown... it looks like 5 laps down right now, but the lights on the pace car are going to go out here, and we will go back green flag racing here in just a moment from Bristol. So it's about to be 20, or working lap number 20 here. A long, long way to go until we're home. 181 laps to go here once we take the green flag. John Butler going to restart to the outside here once again on the 42 here. Max Terriault this time. Can Terriault get a good start? There goes Sean Butler. Tires is spinning for the 42 there of Terriault, but it looks like he actually got a pretty good jump. He'll go into the corners 1 and 2, right on the back quarter panel though of Sean Butler, but Butler has that high side momentum. Josh Buckley now trying to fight with Jeff Hollingsworth for the 3rd position. Sparks are flying here tonight.
And watch behind the number 2 of Buckley, because here comes the 940 of Eric Tupper as he works his way through the corners.
Yeah, Tupper coming on strong too. Buckley was able though to hold on to his 4th spot for the time being. The top 5, top 6. Actually, it looks like just about everybody's single file except for Tony Strano. He wants to bring the Dale Earnhardt machine to the front right now, running in your 11th spot to the outside of him, though. And that is the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Murdoch is the only driver right now that has fresh tires, and he is trying to put them to use here early. Oh, sideways for Jesse Baker to the back. Jesse Baker runs it into the outside wall. He's going to slide down off the track. We're going to stay green flag racing. You saw that live right there. Jesse Baker just got a little bit sideways, and I believe is that Kevin O'Brien also. Hard damage, hard contact for the driver of that Shell V powered 184, but green flag wavers both those drivers down pit road. Sean Butler for the time being out front, half a second lead over Max Terriault, then another half second back to Jeff Hollingsworth, and another half second back to you find Josh Buckley.
Meanwhile, the 01 of Murdoch is working his way through this field. He's going for 9th position on a 989 of Holyfield.
Yeah, Murdoch able to run to the bottom here on a lot of these drivers that are kind of stuck to the outside because, well, he's got the fresh tires. He's only got 11 laps now on his tires. That includes the yellow flag laps that we paced around Bristol here. And now it looks like he will clear Ron Holyfield, and maybe Ryan O'Danny going to be able to work the inside lane. He brings the Hellfire Detroit 98 to the inside, but a wiggle out of that car out of the inside, or out of turn 4 on the inside. Not going to be able to work here for Ryan O'Danny just yet. Everybody else single file for the time being. These are your closest battles here on track. And Jarrett, I just got confirmation out of the Robert Dudley camp. Screens froze for Robert Dudley.
Yeah, it seems like iRacing's having some problems here tonight.
Yeah, we know iRacing just had its big Season 4 update, and as you see, Ryan O'Danny still trying to work over Holyfield's back bumper. iRacing also put out a little patch today, so maybe that's giving guys a little bit of a headache, as Ryan O'Danny now going to get a good run off turn number 2, and he's going to look to try and get to the inside here on that Smith & Wesson sponsored 998 of Holyfield, but it just doesn't seem like he can get the inside to work.
Oh, it looked like Holyfield maybe caught the wall a little bit. That's definitely going to slow him up.
Yeah, but how much is slow him up here from Bristol as O'Danny loses a spot there to the number 3 of Tony Strano. Strano gets around him, and he's working the outside lane pretty good.
Tony Strano on number 3 really trying to work the outside lane. He's back here in 11th. He's going to maybe have to rattle a few cages to try and get to the front.
Yeah, well, with that paint scheme, guys just kind of look in the mirror and they get a little bit scared. So right now, Holyfield looking back out of his mirror, looking at Tony Strano. Strano wants to come to the top 10. Right now, Holyfield's, though, in the way.
Strano going to the inside of Holyfield. And as they come through the corner, he won't be able to clear him as they're side by side going down the backstretch.
This time down into 3, it's been the closest Tony Strano has been to trying to get the position away from Ron Holyfield. Big wiggle out of the 3 on the inside, and we have a car around to the inside. Eric Tupper is pointed in the wrong direction on the front stretch. No yellow flag is waving right now, but Eric Tupper pointed in the wrong direction. I think he's trying to stay off the racetrack. He doesn't want to bring out a yellow flag. So right now, Eric Tupper stuck to the inside lane. Might bring out a caution here. We're going to have to watch, but Sean Butler is pacing the field for the time being. Right in front of him is going to be the 20 of Brandon Minto. Minto is going to move down to the inside. He's back out on track after his Oculus froze. As we also got a confirmation, Joe Strano, who did start tonight here with the 943 car on the pace laps, having a little bit of issues with frames a second, something not going to the liking for his car. Eric Tupper, though, I just saw, did just exit his car, so we're going to stay under the green flag conditions. But it seems like Bristol's just not going to be it for Tupper here tonight.
No, definitely not. Bristol not working out for him. Meanwhile, we're talking about that. The 3 of Strano has worked his way into the top 10, actually running 9th as he tries to run down this front pack.
Yeah, we didn't see that pass here live, but remember, Holyfield was in that 10th position, but then when Eric Tupper had his little bit of a go around off turn number 4, and he couldn't get the car pointed in the right direction and called it a night, looked like Tony Strano's kind of squeezed through there, got a 2-for-1 deal.
And the 42 of Farrell does not want to let the 88 of Butler go. He is trying to stay connected to his rear bumper.
Yeah, just about a 4-car length lead here for the 88 is Sean Butler over Max Terrill. Now right there you see the gap at the top of the screen. The big ways back to you find Hollingsworth, who's just kind of rolling around back there in your 3rd spot. But right here the battle is for 1st and 2nd. Max Terrill wants the lead. He wants to get the bonus point here tonight for leading a lap. So far, all 42 laps, about to be 43 laps in the book right there, have been led by the driver of the 88, Sean Butler. He's the one that's setting the pace here tonight. You gotta question yourself, though. Anytime Sean Butler is out front here, and there's a driver that runs down Sean Butler, was Sean Butler saving a little bit, or did he just kind of wear the tires out? It could happen here at a short track where you wear that right front out.
Yeah, you never know with Sean Butler. He may be holding his cards a little closer to the chest than you think.
As of right now, Max Terrill has closed right up on the back bumper of that 88. Now, it is definitely a 2-horse race. Nobody else side by side on the track, but these two are definitely nose to tail here from Bristol. And they both got a little bit of a different line. That time, actually, both of them go straight to the top of the track here and dime in the corner off. Another lap in the book here from Bristol, just like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if
Big
Terrill
wiggle out of the
would be-
42 of Terrill there off turn number 2.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if you would go try the inside. Big wiggle coming out of the corner.
Right now, Max Terrill's going to have to cool the rear tires on that 42 machine and see if he can mount another charge back to the back bumper of that 88 car. Going to be interesting to see. Still a long race here today.
Meanwhile, behind them, you got the 86 of Skelton working on the 2 of Buckley for the number 4 position. Looks like Skelton's going to try the bottom. And they're side by side as they come down the front stretch. And you can't clear them as they come into 1.
Right now, Josh Buckley driving the wheels off the Miller Genuine Draft number 2 as working lap number 50 here. Right now, Buckley's doing exactly what he needs to do here tonight. Runs 4th inside the top 5. James Skelton behind him. Then you have Patrick Orr, one of your other chase contenders. He's all the way back in the 8th position. So actually right now, a lot of your chase drivers having good days. One driver, though, that's not having the day that he wants, that's Brandon Minto. Remember, just a handful of laps ago, Minto having a little bit of issues with his Oculus. He is back out there on track, and he's trying to get any point that he can. A little right front damage on that car. He runs in the 15th spot lap right now. Last car running 7 laps down.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially when it's technical difficulties that are out of your hands like that.
But James Skelton and Buckley still trying to figure out who's going to have the 4th spot or who's going to have the 5th spot here on lap 54. Buckley is running the high line, I guess if you want to call it the Kyle Larson line. And just behind them, almost contact with Richard Murdoch and Ethan Troutman. Patrick Orr is also right there. It looks like these 3 drivers are actually running down Buckley and Skelton as they work around the number 20 there of Brandon Minto.
Yeah, the 01 of Murdoch still putting those tires to good use. He's worked his way up to 6th position, and he's running down those leaders up front. As
Troutman really sailed her down there into the corner, and it looked like for a moment that South Point Camaro was going to run out of space, but it looked like he was able to actually keep it off the wall. So a good move there by Ethan Troutman, but he lost a lot of ground to Richard Murdoch. Murdoch was able to pull away, and Troutman does once again there through turns 1 and 2, where he almost caught that outside wall.
Yeah, that also allowed the 81 of Orr to catch up to Troutman a little bit as he tries to look for the pass for the 7th position.
Now that Richard Murdoch has caught the back bumper here of the Slim Jim 86, it actually looks like James Skelton's going to move to the bottom lane here. Here comes Murdoch to the outside, and he'll make the pass at the start-finish line. Move Murdoch now with the fresher tires up into your 5th spot.
Looks like James Skelton is going to try and get Murdoch back, but I don't think he has the tires to do it right now as Murdoch sets sail to try and catch Buckley.
Yeah, 60-lap old tires versus 43-lap old tires for the 01 of Murdoch. You can just tell the difference in tread wear right now on these tires as Murdoch is now really starting to pull in the number 2 of Buckley here. As maybe looking at green flag pit stops pretty soon here from Bristol, maybe about 10 to 15 laps away from that. John Butler still leading the way. He started to open it up a little bit. Remember, Max Terriot was kind of battling him pretty hard there for a handful of laps, and then the tire wear, I believe, just got the better of the 42 of Max Terriot as he drifts up the track, almost putting that Ford Mustang into the outside wall. Right now, though, it's Butler, Terriot, Hollingsworth. Buckley runs in your 4th spot back here. Then it's Murdoch. Then it's James Skelton. All of them nose to tail, 4, 5, and 6. Then it's about a second gap back till you find Ethan Troutman, who's still being stalked by the Snickers machine here of Patrick Orr, as Orr actually closes the gap there off turn number 2. A good run that time out of turns 2 for Patrick Orr. Ryan O'Danny, though, runs in your 9th spot, and Tony Strano hangs on to the top 10. Looks like
Behind Strano, you have the 4 of Souza and the 98 of Holyfield side by side for the 11th position. They've been like that for the last 4 or 5 laps, Roger.
Yeah, I thought for a moment there that I saw something happening, and actually what it was that battle there for Holyfield and Souza. They were battling back and forth, and it looks like that outside lane, though, is going to prevail, and here comes your leaders catching up real quick, because, almost contact between Holyfield and Strano right in front of your leaders. That is not what Sean Butler wants to see, and it's such a small track, nowhere to go for your leader right now.
Yeah, starting the lap almost into the top 10 already, but yeah, definitely do not want to see this traffic in front of Butler.
Butler is boxed in for the time being because Holyfield and Strano are still battling for that top 10 position, and nowhere for Butler to go right now. Butler's just boxed in there. You saw a bump last time by to the back bumper of Ron Holyfield. He wasn't rattled, though. It kind of reminds you of, well, good old Ryan Newman.
And you got to wonder what the 42 of Theriault is thinking. As Butler works through this lap traffic, he could possibly get the lead and lead a lap, but it's a little hairy out there in this pack of cars in this short track.
Yeah, you saw Sean Butler work around the lap car of Ron Holyfield. Now here comes the 42 of Max Terriot, and he's going to have to go to the bottom to make this pass. He does clear that 998 there. And Kyle Souza trying to make the inside lane work and pick off a couple positions. He got Tony Strano there, and now he's trying to work over Ron Holyfield, who's on his outside. That's the battle for the top 10 position.
Yeah, after all that movement, they're still side by side battling for position. And it looks like Souza's not quite going to clear him as they come down the backstretch.
Yeah, it looked for a moment like Kyle Souza, but green flag pit stops happening here. Here come your leaders, Sean Butler and Max Terriot. They're going to come down nose to tail here on lap 72 here. So green flag pit stop's going to start right here with your leaders, Tony Strano, also coming down pit road, Patrick Orr, Joshua Buckley. Everybody coming down green flag pit stops here. This is probably as far as they were able to make it with that caution flag that we did have. But now here's the monkey wrench, though, Jarrett. Remember, looking on screen here, the 01 of Richard Murdoch. Remember, he came down pit road. He has actually just about 14 fresher laps on his tires and 14 laps more on fuel. So he's going to actually put these guys a ton of laps down as green flag pit stops. You can lose 2 to 3 laps just in the blink of an eye here.
Yeah, but if we stay green, I mean, they might be able to make those laps back up. But right now, Murdoch is going to try and run away from this field.
Yeah, so there you see the 3 of Tony Strano. He's got 4 fresh tires. He's going to work to the inside as we're almost 3 wide. Strano hit the brakes. He didn't want to go 3 wide down into the corner to try and take out the leader. The wise move there by the 3 of Tony Strano. And Richard Murdoch going to go to the high side here and just allow those 2 drivers to go on through. So it looks just like 4 drivers left out on track. Murdoch right there. Souza, Holyfield, and Blum are your last 4 drivers that would have to come down. Tim Blum right now, he was running in your, well, is running in your 4th spot, 1 lap down right now. He is also on that same strategy that Kyle Souza is on. As Ron Holyfield now, he comes down pit road here in the 998 machine.
As the 2 of Buckley trying to get one of his laps back as he passes the 01 of Murdoch. And here comes the 3 of Strano passing Murdoch as well. These fresher tires, they're really going to have to get back as much time as they can right now on Murdoch.
And Tony Strano, for the time being, showed in your 13th spot. Now it's the 12th spot, 2 laps down. So right now, Murdoch has, as I believe Kyle Souza is being shown here in your 2nd position. He's still on the lead lap, but the leader is literally right behind him, coming with a head of steam. It looks like everybody but Kyle Souza is at least 1 lap down. So 3rd through 8th is at least 1 lap down. Then you have 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all 2 laps down.
You know, you got to wonder for the 01 of Murdoch. I know he has the more fuel and tires, but you don't want to stay out there too long and let these guys catch back up to you and have to make a green flag stop.
Well, at this point now, I think Richard Murdoch is on an island of his own. A big wiggle out of Ethan Troutman right in front of your leader. Murdoch hits the brakes, allows Troutman to catch that car, and they both carry on down the way. But Murdoch at this point is out there. He is on a whole nother strategy versus the entire field at this point. Kyle Souza also on that same strategy along with Tim Blum, but I think Tim Blum tonight here is a little bit down on power as he runs in your 5th spot. He's 1 lap down, and he has yet to make his pit stop.
Yeah, a little bit of tough night for Tim Blum. Luckily, he is locked into that championship race next week.
But Richard Murdoch still out there circling as the 81 of Patrick Orr now gets one of his laps back. He is still 1 lap down. So possibly look for that Tabasco 01 car to be coming down pit road here in just a handful of laps. Any moment, as I think it might be right here. Here it is. Richard Murdoch going to bring down the Tabasco 01 a little bit sideways as he was getting onto the hooks there.
Yeah, the 88 and 42 were really running him down. They were in the same corner when he came down to pit road.
So we'll have to see where the 01 of Richard Murdoch kind of cycles back out onto the racing surface, because right now there's the man that's back out front. The 88 is Sean Butler, Max Terriel, and then it's Kyle Souza, all right here within a half second of each other. But the 4 of Souza still has to bring the FedEx number 4 here to pit road. Here comes Richard Murdoch now out of pit road. It looks like he'll be the first car 1 lap down, running in the 9th position. And now he's got about 17 lap fresher tires than anybody else. So I believe he'll be able to work his way back up onto your lead lap pretty easy. As actually it looks like now Murdoch is no longer the first car 1 lap down. That'll go to the 2 car here of Joshua Buckley. Buckley had a good pit stop. I'm not sure if Sean Butler and Max Terriel are just that fast here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's got a problem with that car or what's going on. He was setting a good pace, and now the leaders have lapped him again.
Yeah, there goes the leaders as they work around the 2 of Buckley, and now here comes Richard Murdoch. This is actually the battle for the lucky dog position. If a caution would come out right now, it would be Josh Buckley. As Buckley is sideways, Murdoch gets into the back bumper, and Murdoch is around here on the front stretch. Murdoch spins the 01 around. He's going to come to a rest against the inside wall here as he's trying to figure it out. It looks like that Austin Powers movie, where They're in the little go-kart as there is the yellow flag waving now. Yellow flag waves here for Richard Murdoch. You saw that one live. Let's go back here and try and watch that, though. Contact between two teammates there. We caught the end of it. We'll throw her back another corner here. As we were talking about, if a caution would come out, who was going to get the lucky dog there? You saw Josh Buckley sideways, and then Richard Murdoch nowhere to go, runs right into the back of him. He had those fresh tires. He tried to keep the 01 off the racing surface to keep this going green flag, but just bad luck here for Richard Murdoch.
The 88 of Butler and the 42 of Theriault are coming down. They're down pit road.
Actually, it looks like everybody came down pit road except for the 81 of Patrick Orr, who stayed out there. And I think Orr stayed out to lead a lap here to try and get a bonus point to see if he can make his way into the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, he came down. I believe he was the 8th man coming into this, 18 points down. He's going to try and get every point he can.
A little bit of a points gamble here for Patrick Orr, but everybody else came down pit road, and now I believe here comes Patrick Orr. I don't think Orr actually led a lap there. So it's going to be interesting to see if Patrick Orr actually was able to get a lap led. But I know Sean Butler has led a handful of laps here. 79 laps out front. The 88 has been here tonight. The 42 of Max Theriault has not led any laps, but he has definitely been able to hang right there onto the back bumper of Sean Butler. Richard Murdoch did lead 15, though.
Yeah, the 88 and the 42 definitely doing what they need to do here tonight to make it to the next race.
Sean Butler came in tonight 4 points above the cutoff line. So did Max Theriault came in just 2 points above the cutoff line. Both those drivers having a good showing. The guy who came in tonight tied with Sean Butler was Skelton right now. Skelton does run Rex right there in your 4th spot, so he's also having a good night. So your top 4, 3 out of your 4 drivers in the top 4, I'm trying to say here, are in your championship hunt, and right now sitting pretty. So it looks like all your drivers are being waved around the pace car right now. Going to be the 3 there of Tony Strano. It looks like Ron Holyfield also going to get the wave around, so we're going to line him up here on lap 98. We're going to wave the green flag next time by. It's going to be Sean Butler to the outside, Max Theriault to the inside. Then it's going to be Jeff Hollingsworth right there in 3rd. 4th place is James Skelton, Ethan Troutman in 5th, and it's Patrick Orr. That's your top 6 drivers here. And we take the green flag here on lap 99. Still got 15 drivers out there on track. And the green flag's waving, and we're back to green flag or action here from Bristol. Good start that time by Max Theriault as you see the sparks from the truck arm banging off the concrete here. Side by side still down here in turn 3. Can Theriault get the inside to work with the fresh tires? Still hanging right there on the quarter panel of the 88. Now, after he had a little bit of a wiggle that time out of turn number 2, he'll fall back in line. Butler, Theriault, Skelton, then Hollingsworth for the time being. That is your top 5 drivers. As Joshua Buckley with a little bit of rear end damage done to the number 2 here. It's not the first time the 2 has been to Bristol and had a little bit of rear end damage, as he's right now running in your 7th position right behind Ethan Troutman, who runs 6th. Looks like Sean Butler has a pretty dominant car as we're just past the halfway marker here tonight. And if he can just lead about 14 more laps, he'll lead the most laps by far here tonight, and nobody else will be able to claim that bonus point as Terriot losing a little bit of ground. It seems like Butler's car just fires off a lot better than the 42 of Max Terriot, because Terriot now slipping back into the clutches of James Skelton. But the man who's on the move now, here comes Patrick Orr. He goes to the outside here on Jeff Hollingsworth. He's going to get the position, and Hollingsworth actually might have an issue here as he's falling through the field.
Yeah, Hollingsworth dropping back. It looks like the 2 of Buckley is going to try and get around him on the outside as well.
Maybe, just maybe, Jeff Hollingsworth knows something we don't know. Maybe he's trying to save a little bit. But right now, he's trending in the wrong direction. Restarted there inside your top 4. Now he's running sick with a rear view mirror full of Buckley all over that Coast Guard machine. Sideways for Jeff Hollingsworth out of turn number 4.
Meanwhile, behind them, the 01 of Murdoch, I think that damage is hurting him a little bit from that accident as he is dropping back to the 11th position.
Yeah, Murdoch that's not having the night now that he wanted. He was off sequence with your leaders, and it looked pretty good for himself. Right now, though, a bunch of rear end damage, a bunch of front end damage on this Tabasco car. Sitting 1 lap down, running in the 11th spot, and he's now got to worry about Tim Blum, who Blum actually has a pretty clean car, just a little off the pace with a tide ride here tonight.
And it looks like the 42 of Terriot has started pulling away from Skelton and has started working his way back up to the rear end of Butler.
Yeah, now it's back to about 6, 7 car lengths as they come down the backstretch here once again into turn number 3. Out of turn number 4 they come here to finish lap number 110. Now working lap 111, and it's still the same distance, about a half second back here to Max Terriot. Then it's about just under a second actually gap back to the James Skelton Slim Jim 86. And right now, these 3 drivers are just doing what they have to here tonight.
Absolutely, just trying to make it to that championship race next weekend, or next week, I should say. It looks like the 962 is trying to work his way around the 81 of Orr as they come down the front stretch.
Here comes that South Point Camaro trying to look to the inside here in the Snickers 81 of Orr. Doesn't quite have the run just yet. He's going to try it once again down here in turns 3 and 4. Look at that truck arm. Really, is right there. Orr is out of shape there coming out of turn number 4. Now they're going to switch spots. Orr to the bottom of the track. Troutman runs the high line.
And as they come down the backstretch into 3, Troutman's going to go low on Orr. And as they come out of turn 4, they're side by side. Still side by side as they come down into 1.
Yeah, that time getting out of turn number 4. A great run there by the Troutman machine. Still down to the inside on Orr. They're going to go door to door off turn number 2. And right there, you see Troutman just able to drive it in just a little bit farther. He has now cleared Patrick Orr coming out of turn number 4. Give the 4th spot here to Ethan Troutman. Can Troutman try and find his way as he might have been into the outside wall? Might have just jumped the cushion a little bit down there in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, Troutman almost giving Orr another door open to claim that position back.
Well, now your top 4 looks a little different. It's Butler, Terriot, Skelton. Then it's Troutman. Now it's Orr running in the 5th spot, and Hollingsworth right behind him about a second back with that Coast Guard car still hanging on to the 6th spot. Ryan O'Danny runs in your 7th spot. Then it's Joshua Buckley right behind him just by about 3-4 car lengths back. You find that 2 there of Buckley. Then even a little bit farther back, the Dale Earnhardt look-alike car, the number 3 here of Tony Strano, but Strano is under fire because here comes the FedEx number 4 of Souza. Souza to the inside at the line is going to be Kyle Souza in the 9th spot, Strano in 10th, but Strano is not going away, but it just looks like the dominant spot for the number 4 here tonight of Kyle Souza was down low as now he slides up in front of Tony Strano. Laps are clicking away pretty fast here for Sean Butler. He is setting one heck of a pace. Looking at it, he's starting to work up onto the 20 car of Brandon Minto, just in about, well, he's about a half a corner ahead right now of the number 20, or the 20's ahead of the 88. Brandon Minto 13 laps behind your leader here of Sean Butler. 78 to go this time at the line.
Looks like the 998 of Holyfield side by side with the 3 of Strano. Holyfield a lap down, so that is not for position.
Not for position, but when you're faster than somebody here on this little track, it doesn't take a whole lot to get into them by accident, and then we have a bigger mess than what you really were looking forward to. And right now it looks like Holyfield going to get around to the outside here on Tony Strano.
Looks like Sean Butler is starting to catch some lap traffic again.
Now, as we were just talking about Tony Strano right in front of, or right behind him, now here is your leader. He is coming with a head of steam at that rear bumper of Tony Strano. Strano's running in your 10th spot, still on the lead lap, but I don't think he's going to put up that much of a fight here on Sean Butler as they're going to go side by side out of 4. There it is. You just saw the 3 there of Tony Strano just lift a little bit. Sean Butler was able to get around him. Now Butler's going to set his sights onto the Ron Holyfield machine. Holyfield is 1 lap down in your 12th spot, so this will put him 2 laps down if Sean Butler's able to work his way around him. Both drivers running the outside lane.
And as Sean Butler is working through this traffic, the 42 of Terriol is really working his way to the back bumper of Butler.
Terriol trying to take advantage. Oh! Butler into the outside wall as he tried to work around Ron Holyfield. Holyfield wasn't going to give it to him just that easy. Butler thought he had an outside opening and then went to the outside, and Holyfield up the track just a little bit. Butler now is going to work to the bottom, but that allowed Terriol there to now come within about a car length and a half to the back bumper of the 88.
And Terriol really diving down to the inside of the corner as he slides a little bit coming off of 4.
Yeah, he slid a little bit, but he was able to clear that lap down car there of Ron Holyfield. So now that'll put Terriol, now it's about, he's a little bit closer, maybe about a 2 car length gap closer, if you will, to Sean Butler. Lap traffic could play a big factor into tonight's event here before things are up.
As the top 2 have really pulled away from the 86 of Skelton. Almost a 2-second gap.
Yeah, James Skelton starting to work up onto that lap down car of Ron Holyfield. The Holyfield machine is not really running the way he would like it. He got a wave around last time. Not a lucky dog, a wave around as he was in front of your leaders when the pace car picked him up. So he was able to get 1 lap back, but he was not able to pit to put fresh tires on that 998. But right now, Holyfield, he's been out there for, it looks like, right around the 55 lap marker right now, and he is trying and just milk it as far as he can. But once he pits this final time, I think that'll be the last time we see Ron Holyfield unless a caution flag comes out on pit road.
Yeah, he should be able to make it the whole way. Nothing changing up front. Still about a half-second gap between Butler and Terriol.
Throw that at the top of the screen so, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow that gap there between the top 3 drivers as we watch James Skelton here, who is your 3rd place car on the timing and scoring, try and work his way around Ron Holyfield. We know Holyfield is not just going to pull over and let you go by, as he's pretty much looking like Ryan Newman. No matter where you find Holyfield, he's going to race you. That's what he's out here to do. He's just not going to roll over and give you something. He's going to make you earn it the old-fashioned way.
Meanwhile, behind Skelton, you have Troutman under fire from the 999 of Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth really trying to make that low line work for the last couple laps.
Yeah, we wondered what was wrong with Jeff Hollingsworth as he was falling through the field there on the initial drop of the green flag when we came back to green flag racing. As there you see the 3 of Tony Strano. He just came out of the pits. He's got service. The 3 car will no longer be coming down pit road most likely for the next 60 laps. He'll try and finish it out on the tank of fuel and tires he's put on there. But Jeff Hollingsworth, remember, fell like a rock in water. And now he's actually started here on the long run to start to make up a lot of that ground that he lost. It just could be a little too late for Jeff Hollingsworth. 6.5 seconds behind your leaders, you find Ethan Troutman and Hollingsworth right here battling 4th and 5th.
And as they come off of turn 2, Hollingsworth still trying to make that inside line work as he drifts up a little bit coming through 3 and 4. Still door to door as they come down the front stretch.
At the start-finish line, it was Troutman by just a nose. As Troutman oversteps in turn 1, he's into the outside wall. That's going to clear Jeff Hollingsworth. He's going to take over the 4th spot. As all this is unfolding, though, look at this. Your leader of Sean Butler is now working to the inside here on the number 2 of Joshua Buckley, and he's not able to clear him out of 4, but he's right there on the back bumper of the 2. The 2 into the outside wall, sideways a little bit for Buckley to the outside of Sean Butler. As Buckley was into the outside wall, Butler got around. Now here comes Max Terrill. He tried to pounce as soon as he saw that happen. He was able to get around the 2 of Buckley now also. So that's now going to leave us with 7 guys on your lead lap with green flag pit stops looming. There you see the number 4, Kyle Souza. He's coming back out of pit road. Watch for him to be like a rocket because he's got 4 fresh tires compared to all your leaders here. He's just got to be kind of selective on when he wants to push. As Ryan O'Danny is also running in your 7th spot, he's going to go a lap down to your leader here, Sean Butler. So your leaders are buried in lap traffic.
Sean Butler lapping all the way up to the, I believe that's the 7th position right now. Really setting a good pace around this racetrack.
There you see Kyle Souza go around your leader of Sean Butler. He waited for the right moment, and then it was all clear for Souza. He put it flat to the floor, and he's going to drive away now here from Sean Butler. So that'll put Souza 2 laps down here. Going to be interesting to see how long your leaders are going to stay out here because Kyle Souza was on the lead lap when he brought the 4 FedEx machine down pit road, and now he just unlapped himself 1 lap. So how long is too long for your leaders?
Yeah, leaders should definitely be coming down pit road soon. I'm sure they're trying to get all they can out of this fuel run to make it to the end. Talking
about down on pit road, Ryan O'Danny just went a lap down, and then he brought that Hellfire Detroit machine down pit road immediately. Sean Butler, though, still out there turning pretty quick laps right around the 15.5 second marker. Max Terrill, James Skelton also mirroring along with Jeff Hollingsworth. All 4 of those drivers all running pretty identical times last time by. And once again at the stripe that time by, pretty much identical times for your top 4. There's the gap. You see it right there with Sean Butler to Max Terrill. Got a half a second gap. Max Terrill not letting Sean Butler run away with this one.
It makes you wonder if Terrill can't quite get to Sean Butler, or if he's maybe saving something for this last run they're going to be coming up on. Being interesting to see how it unfolds.
Last little short track we were at was all the way back at Phoenix. Sean Butler didn't actually win that one. He finished 6th, so I'm sure he's wanting to try and rebound just a little bit. As here he comes, Sean Butler going to hot pit it this time by. He's going to come down there, and actually it looks like he made a perfect entrance down there into pit road, so he'll be 1 lap to pit road before Max Terrill, because Terrill wasn't ready for that. Is Terrill going to pit this time by? Here he comes, Max Terrill. He's sideways entering pit road, but he was able to get down to pit road speed also. So the 42 of Max Terrill and Sean Butler in the 88, both hot pitting here with just under 50 laps to go, 45 laps to go this time at the line. James Skelton going to stay out here. He's going to take over the lead for the time being in the Slim Jim 86.
James Skelton continuing to just put in laps. Maybe he can catch a break with a caution. Gonna have to come in here soon though, Roger.
Yeah, he'll have to make his final pit stop here as now he goes to the bottom of the track. Is he coming down this time? Here comes the 86 Slim Jim car driven by James Skelton. He's going to make his final pit stop, so that'll turn it over. Jeff Hollingsworth now goes to the point. He'll lead a lap here. We still have only had 6 lead changes and only 5 leaders here tonight at Bristol, and I believe now Hollingsworth led a lap. He's going to come down pit road, and then where is it going to cycle through? Actually, the only one that has not come down pit road is Richard Murdoch, and right now he's shown 1 lap down still to your leaders. It'll be interesting to see where everybody cycles through. We know, though, Sean Butler had one heck of a pit stop. He came in 1 lap before Max Terrill. Remember, Terrill was only a half second back when those green flag pit stops started. As everything's starting to cycle through now, we already know Sean Butler's going to retain the lead because he's already got the lead. And Max Terrill, who was a half a second behind, there's your gap. It's about a whole 2 corners gap back to the 42 of Max Terrill. He lost 2 seconds, a second and a half on that exchange of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, he's really going to have to charge here with Just about 40 to go.
40 laps to go this time by. After green flag pit stops, this is how your running order looks. Sean Butler out front here by a 2-second gap over the 42 of Max Terriol. Then it's a whole nother 6 seconds back till you can find that man in the South Point. 962, that's Troutman, and Troutman's actually going to be under fire here by James Skelton, who runs fourth for the time being, because James Skelton has the 4 fresh tires. Actually, it looks like 6 lap fresher tires than Ethan Troutman, so he's going to dive into the inside here. He's going to try and get to this inside here on Troutman, but it didn't look that time like it was going to work. He's going to stick it down there with the Slim Jim. He's going to try it once again. He's going to get a great run through the center of turn number 2 there. And now down into 3. Now put James Skelton into your 3rd running spot. Troutman back into 4th with Orr running 5th. Hollingsworth right behind him, though, running in your 6th spot, because here comes Hollingsworth. He's got the fresh tires. Now he'll take over that inside position there. He'll take over 5th. Now Orr back to 6th. Souza is running here in your 7th spot, but he's got the oldest tires out of everybody inside the top 10. Souza there running 7th, 1 lap down. Ryan O'Danny is running 8th, 1 lap down. Joshua Buckley runs in the 9th spot. Same song and dance, 1 lap down. Then rounding out the top 10 right now, the Intimidator paint, number 3 here of Tony Strano. Now that's your top 10 drivers right now. And I believe, looking at the timing and scoring, Max Terriol is actually starting to really chew into Sean Butler's lead.
Yeah, he's been taking about a 10th or 2 off of his lead every lap. But you got to wonder if he's going to use up that right front tire getting to him.
Well, you never know, but what we do know is the laps are winding down here from Bristol. And right there, the 42 of Max Terriol was definitely about a 10.5 quicker that time by than your leader of Sean Butler. Now the lead is about a second, little over a second. Question will be, is he going to use the tire up, or is it going to be a little too late for the 42 of Max Terriol to get back to Sean Butler?
Yeah, about 30 laps to go. I think he can catch him, but when he catches him, can he get by him? Oh, and he bounces off the wall coming through the corner.
That's going to hurt the 42 there of Max Terriol, bouncing it off the wall. All that he just gained, throw it out the window. Now it's back to a 2-second gap. But Sean Butler still setting a blistering pace here. There's already only 6 drivers left on the lead lap, and I think Patrick Orr is your next one, and he's not too far ahead of Sean Butler.
No, Sean Butler set an incredible pace, going the lap in almost to the top 5.
Got to see how many guys Sean Butler's actually able to lap here tonight, because Butler's already led over 150 laps here from Bristol, and he just wants to lead the next 27 laps here tonight, and wants to walk out of here and head over to Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm sure he just wants to get through this, get to that championship race, and try and win a championship. But still got a few laps to go here.
Anything can happen from Bristol, because we're going to work up into some lap traffic yet before tonight is done with.
Max Terriol still cutting into that lead a little bit again.
Well, let's take a ride around Bristol here with driver of the 88, Sean Butler, here from the gyrocam. You can just see how high and intense this banking is as you see Butler trying to work up onto the back bumper there. I believe that's Holyfield, and there is Minto to the inside. Minto's still 18 laps down, and Bell to go 19 laps down. That's some pretty intense banking here at Bristol, and all the bumps. You can see how much his hands are working there to the left-hand side of the screen. Just a couple more. That's what the spotter's telling him right now. You got a big lead. His lead actually started to shrink again. Max Terriol actually pulled it down to about a 1.5 seconds, but he steps over the cushion. He bounces off the outside wall once again.
Yeah, I think the grip is starting to go away in that car.
You think, or do you know?
I don't know a whole lot. I'm just guessing as he bounces off the wall again.
Well, here I thought you knew something for once, but I guess not. And here we are, 20 to go marker this time by for Sean Butler. He's working through lap traffic, though. That could kind of pull Max Terriot back into this fight.
Yeah, that last lap, Terriot took a few tenths off of that gap.
And now it's just hovering just over 1 second gap. Let's go on board here and show you what it looks like out the front here from Max Terriot's point of view. There you see Strano right out in front in that green car running the outside lane. That's Sean Butler, and he's got to catch him here in the next 17 laps if he wants to try and park the 42 in victory lane. Oh, a big wiggle.
Yeah, big wiggle coming off the corner. He has it down to almost inside a second with about 15, 16 laps to go here.
Yeah, the laps are going to go quick. We're still running under the 15.5-second marker here from Bristol. Can Max Terriot run down Sean Butler? Is Sean Butler up there trying to play a little possum maybe, though?
I'm not sure. I mean, he could be, but... Oh, Tony Strano into the wall.
Tony Strano trying to get everything out of his car and just kind of stepped over it a little bit. You see the right front of that Good Wrench Plus surface machine a little tore up. Patrick Orr, though, in the chase and about to go a lap down. His dreams of advancing on to Charlotte could be going up in smoke here in just a handful of laps.
Yeah, definitely Patrick Orr trying to put a good race together here. Came in 18 points down.
Doesn't look like Orr's going to be able to advance if things would end right now into the finale from Charlotte next week. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be Tim Blum, and actually Blum has loaded up the 10 car. He's going to go do some testing at Charlotte a little bit early. He's out of the event here. He's shown right now in your 14th spot. But if Sean Butler would win here tonight or be able to hold on to a good run, he'll lock himself into the next round, along with the guy who's actually now under a second. And that's going to be Max Terriot, who runs second, and James Skelton. Right now, those, I believe, would be your 4 drivers advancing into the next round of the playoffs.
Terriot still working to catch Butler as he tries to work his way around the 998 of Holyfield.
So under 10 laps to go here for Sean Butler. Sean Butler still leading the way. Terriot really starting to come to a life here, but he is literally driving every inch of this track to try and make that 42 as fast as it can. But the laps are clicking away quicker than you can blink an eye. 7 laps to go, and he still has Patrick Orr in his way.
Yeah, Terriot, I've been seeing sparks come out of that car for the last 5 or 6 laps. He's giving it all he's got to catch up to Butler.
6 laps to go, and the gap between your leaders still remains at 1 second. Now Patrick Orr is going to move out of the way of your second place runner here of Max Terriot. He's going to see if Max can run down your leader. There you see the tore up car. That is the one. Is that the 180? That's the 84 there. That's Christopher Rothrock finally back out on track, but he tapped the wall a little bit there as he was trying to run with your leaders. He has 4 fresh tires, but 4 laps to go remaining here at Bristol.
Yeah, gap's starting to open up a little bit. It's a little over a second now that Butler has on Terriot.
Yeah, it's starting to look like Sean Butler's going to most likely walk away with this one, but you never know what could happen here from Bristol. It is iRacing. We've seen guys on the last lap blink out and disappear and lose races that way. Sean Butler, though, going to come off turn 4, popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more laps here from Bristol to go. Sean Butler at this point is saying, boys, let's race this one out here under green. Right ahead of Sean Butler, going to be his compadre there, the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. I don't believe Sean Butler is going to work up onto the number 2 of Buckley here. Final lap from Bristol underway. Sean Butler has led 178 laps here tonight, looking for lap 179 as he works through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Off turn 4, the checkered flag is waving. Sean Butler punches his ticket into the season finale from Charlotte next week. Max Terriall comes home second. James Skelton going to come off turn number 4. He's going to come home third. Jeff Hollingsworth's going to come home fourth. In tow there is Ethan Troutman. He's going to come home in your 5th spot. Patrick Orr has to settle for a 6th place finish, and I believe he's just going to miss the cut here to the championship weekend. Kyle Souza comes home 7th. Ryan O'Danny comes home in your 8th position. 9th is Joshua Buckley. Tony Strano comes home in 10th. Find the rest of your scrolling lineup there across the top as Sean Butler celebrates on the front stretch here from Bristol as the fireworks explode. What a fireworks show we had here from Bristol. You're going to hear exactly what your top 3 drivers, Sean Butler, Max Terriall, and James Skelton, have to say here tonight. We'll be right back with your post-race show here from Bristol. Welcome back, race fans, here to the Bristol Motor Speedway's 200 laps in the book, and that's your winner right there on screen. Sean Butler won here tonight, locked himself into the playoffs. Max Terriall, though, knocked down everything here from Bristol. It was the last great Coliseum, but he had knocked down everything. I think they're going to have to try and rebuild this to be another great Coliseum here, and James Skelton did exactly what he had to do. We'll have to wait for confirmation, but I believe the 4th driver into your chase from Charlotte is going to be James Skelton. Those were your top 3 finishers, and I have caught up here with the driver of the 88 of Sean Butler. Butler, you did it. You did exactly what you needed to do tonight here from Bristol. You won another race. You punched your ticket into the season finale from Charlotte. How does it feel to know you're going to race for a championship?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, it just feels great to come out here and do that here at Bristol. I'm so tired and I'm sweating. Man, Max kept it right on me the whole time. He never really gave me a break, and congrats to him and James for punching their tickets in, and should be a great race next week for the championship.
It's going to be a great race. It's going to be a whole nother beast here. You came into Bristol. You knew you were going to be strong here in the Cup car. 700 plus horsepower here with these high bank concrete slick corners. Next week, though, it's a totally different car. You're going to jump out of this Cup car. You're going to jump into your Xfinity car at a 1.5 mile track. Are you excited to go to Charlotte to try and end this one to win a championship?
Yeah, no, not really. It's one of those things. It just depends on the temperature of the track and stuff. If it's hot and slick, I'll probably enjoy it more. But if it's cool and lots of grip, which means it's going to be real tight, I think Max is going to be the guy to beat. I don't know. I mean, everyone's really good. I mean, it's going to be me, Tim, Max, and James, all strong all year long, and prove that, we can all win pretty much anywhere. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and see what kind of track temps we got, and see who's good on the long run there, because it's probably going to be a green flag, probably almost start to finish would be my guess.
Well, you win it here tonight. You led the most laps. You almost led them all here. You almost led the 200 laps here from Bristol, but you didn't. 179 laps. I guess you're going to call it a disappointment here tonight. But who do you got to thank to park the 88 once again here in Victory Lane for the 7th time this year?
always got to give a shout out to teammates at Need for Speed, James and Josh Buckley. We worked on practice, worked on strategy, and was able to pay off out front here. And I think whoever got out front was going to win this thing. That was a key here, just keeping it out front. So, and then I want to shout out to some friends at home watching, Becca and Skittles. Thanks for cheering me on and chat and sending me texts and stuff. And shout out to you guys up here in the booth. Enjoy watching the race afterwards, and look forward to next week.
Well, there you heard it from Sean Butler. He won here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. He punched his ticket. He's going to join the number 10 of Tim Blum for sure next week at Charlotte, and they're going to race it off for a championship. But, Jared, I think you caught up with one of the other drivers that's going to happen to just join them next weekend.
I am here with our second place finisher, the 42 of Max Theriault. And Max, wasn't a win here today like you wanted, but you still locked yourself into that championship race. Tell us how your night went.
Yeah, that was enough to make it in a chase. After last night's practice, I didn't have that much hope of running that close to the front, but after that first long run, I saw that I could keep up with Sean, so I was pleasantly surprised. Pretty much got into a rhythm for the middle part of the race and pushed a little harder at the end because why not? You know, if I have a shot at the win, I'll go for it.
Yeah, you were definitely bouncing off the corners, getting every inch of that track you could to catch Butler. Just couldn't happen tonight. So, heard Sean say that he thinks you'd be the man to beat next week in Charlotte in the Xfinity car. Tell us, how confident do you feel going in next week?
Well, I think any one of the last four can win at Charlotte. Well, I mean, Sean starts out as a favorite. He can win anywhere among any other tracks, and I think it's the first time we're running the new version of Charlotte, and we have the new Xfinity car next week. So practice is going to reveal a lot about the new car and about the new dynamic. We'll see how it goes, and it's a fresh start. I mean, one race, winner gets winners get it all. So it's a must-see race.
Yeah, definitely must see. Winner take all next week. And before we let you go, who would you like to thank tonight?
I would like to thank my girlfriend and my friend Max at Max Simulating. Probably watching, I don't know from where else this week also. And a shout out to his favorite team, the Titans, who won big yesterday. So good on him. He's probably in a good mood for that. In the second place tonight. Well, I hope you enjoyed the race, and all the viewers, I hope you can tune in on next week. Let's hope we have a clean race as we did tonight, and good finish this season.
Well, Max, good luck next week, and I believe Roger has caught up with our third place finisher.
Yeah, I caught up with the driver of the 86. He did exactly what he needed to do here this week. James Skelton, you parked the 86 in third, and it just seemed like that's where you stayed all night. It was exactly what you needed to do.
Yeah, for sure. My qualifying effort, I actually thought I had a pretty decent lap, and then I just kept following and started sixth. And then on some of these restarts, I kept getting the inside. I fell back to eighth, and I just had to be patient. I knew I was really good on the points. I knew Sean was going to be a little bit quicker than me. So, like Max said, if you get that close, you got to go for the win. But my ultimate goal was just to punch a ticket into Charlotte and see if somehow I can win this thing.
Yeah, so now Bristol is over. We talk about Charlotte. You heard from the other two competitors that you're going to have to go up against, Sean and Max. How confident do you feel headed into Charlotte? We know it's the new build, we know all that, but Charlotte, it's a track that everybody has ran. We've all logged probably the most laps at Charlotte than any other track on the service. How do you feel going to Charlotte?
I mean, I feel decent. Just looking at the stats of the year, I think I have the second best finishing throughout the year. I think Sean's just actually a tick better, even though he's won 7. I haven't won any. However, I haven't won, so I think that puts me at a disadvantage because I think you'll see all 4 of us within the top 5 the entire race. So I think, like Max said, I would give the early nod to Sean, and then Max, and then put Tim and I right there, but we're not far behind. So I would hope to say it's anybody's, but yeah, we'll put a lot of practice in for this 86 and give it our best shot.
Well, you may not have won any races this year, but you have locked yourself in, so that does mean there's a chance. So next week when we head over there, good luck. But before we step away here from you and wrap up the post-race show, we're going to hand you the mic, hand you the red carpet. Who do you got to thank for your third place finish?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. I want to give a shout out to my teammates also with Need for Speed, Sean and then Josh. We put some practice in, got a good feel for the car going in for tonight. And then you, Roger, and Jarrett for putting on the awesome broadcast. So definitely check it out later on tonight. And then really just everybody that's come out for the league this year. We've had a great turnout. So we've had some really good racing, and it's been a really fun season so far. And we're looking forward to the last race and getting our next season kicked off here in about a month or so.
Well, there you heard it from your driver who finishes third tonight. He locks himself in. He's going to go toe-to-toe next week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with the brand new Xfinity car and the new Charlotte Oval. He'll lock himself in. He'll go toe-to-toe, like I said, with Tim Blum, Sean Butler, Max Terrill, and himself, James Skelton. That's 4 drivers, Jarrett, that we know now will be racing for a championship.
Yeah, 4 drivers, 1 champion. I cannot wait to get to Charlotte next week. Should be an excellent race.
Yeah, if Charlotte turns out to be anything like what we've seen with this Red Light Scrambler series, we know they're going to put on one heck of a show. That's going to be 1 week from tonight. Next Monday night, same time here on your same channel, your Turn 3 Racing Network brings you all the action for the Red Light Scrambler series. And that's next week, Monday night. Catch the championship 4 race from Charlotte